Hey, what's up? This is Raheem. Welcome to my show. And if you enjoy my show, please hit the like and subscribe button. It's very important. Also, please, I enjoy reading comments. If you have a comment, question, or suggestion for an upcoming show, please leave that. I read those, I respond to you. And when I do future shows, I will definitely take into consideration what your thoughts are and what your questions are, and provide some more content. So today, what I'm going to talk about is happiness. Happiness is such an important topic to me because all through my life and all through all of our lives, many of us, we know what it means to interact with society and how important it is when we see people who are unhappy, or when we are unhappy, when we're going through our lives and we're struggling and trying to understand how to make it and all of those things. And we sometimes will find ourselves in a rut where we're not enjoying the life that we have. And life is a beautiful gift, man. I was listening to another person's podcast, and he was talking about the odds of being born. It's like 1 to 400 trillion. Can you imagine what that number is? 1 to 400 trillion? That's like saying it won't happen. Those odds make the odds of winning a lotto look easy. So anyway, I'm going to talk about happiness, and I'm going to give you some steps and things that you can do to make your life more happy. And I really hope that this show reaches that one person, or reaches that group of people who are in this situation where they may feel like they're not happy, So anyway, let me get into it. I'm going to start off with, just a little bit about my own happiness, just to share some things. Happiness for me has always been so important. I can remember being a little kid and just being in so much control of my own happiness, and not wanting my happiness to be tainted or derailed by others. I was a loner. I was that kid who, I enjoyed being around other kids, but I also really enjoyed my own personal time. When I was around groups of kids and other people, my big thing was always watching them, because I was just so fascinated by people and the thoughts that they had and the decisions that they make, the actions that they took. It just looked strange to me a little bit, because I was kind of like, man, why did they choose this over that, or that over this, or why did they do anything? The people that really would just kind of confuse me as a kid were the people who were angry. Like, I just couldn't understand why people were angry. I think I probably felt that way because I just didn't understand why anyone would take something so serious. And I was a serious person, which is funny. Is just crazy how life is, and how we as humans are made. We have these contradictions in us, these things in us that give us both sides, but we don't always realize that we are both sides. Meaning, like for myself, looking at other people and why they took things so serious, and I did the exact same thing, only I didn't take it serious in the sense of, this is going to make me so upset, so angry, that I'm going to do these things. Not saying I've never felt anger, but as a kid, because I did, it was just curious to me. I just always felt like somebody else was more angry than I was. But that was just my perspective, right? Why am I telling you that story? I'm telling you that story because in life, sometimes we don't realize that happiness is a choice, is not something that is imposed on you. It's something that you make a conscious decision or unconscious decision to actually have. And sometimes we don't realize that. It just kind of reminds me of this story I heard years ago about the two wolves. So within all of us, within all people, there are two wolves. One good wolf, one bad wolf. And one day, this grandfather and his grandson were on a hiking trip. So they were walking through the mountain range and the woods and everything. And this is a time that they both really enjoy because the grandfather has an opportunity to impart knowledge and wisdom to his grandson. And his grandson is just totally fascinated by his grandfather. Like, he's looking at him like, man, how do you get so many wrinkles? How do you get so old? That kind of thing, right? And so one day, the grandson asked the grandfather about success and happiness, and what it took. So then the grandfather began to tell his grandson the story about the two wolves. And in the story, he's telling his grandson that within every human being, man or woman, doesn't matter what race you are, there are two wolves. And the grandson says, two wolves? What do you mean? The grandfather says, two wolves. Like, there are two actual wolves inside of every person. And those wolves represent two qualities. On one wolf, there's good, and on the other wolf, there's bad. And the good wolf carries with it good health, success, and happiness. And then the bad wolf comes with it poverty, poor health, and depression. And every day, every second of the day, the two wolves fight all day long. They're constantly fighting and battling each other, right? And so the grandson says to the grandfather, well, what wolf wins? Who will win? And the grandfather says to the grandson, the wolf that wins is the wolf that you feed. Now, in that story, it's important to note that these two wolves are in every single one of us, and they're always battling. The only wolf that wins is the one that we all decide to feed. So if you're putting all of your thoughts, energy, and focus into the good wolf, then the good wolf wins. You get health, you get success, you get peace of mind. But if you're focusing in on the bad wolf, you get poverty, poor health, and depression, stress, all of the things that comes along with that wolf. It's very important for us to be conscious and be careful about the wolves that we feed throughout our day. Now, being a human, we know that there are times when we feed that bad wolf. Some of you may not want to admit that. You may not want to own that fact that sometimes you're feeding that bad wolf and you're getting all of the things that are associated with it. But the good thing is that you are in total control of you. Nobody can feed your wolf. You feed the wolf. It's inside of you. Nothing can get in you without your permission. So you have to determine what kind of day that you want to have, what kind of life that you want to have. You want to have a good life where you feel successful, where you feel happy, you feel healthy, then you have to feed that good wolf. Good wolf and happiness bring about like the vital essence of life. It brings you vitality. It makes you youthful. It's great for your body and mind. It reduces stress. It is completely under your control. And nobody else can take that from you. Happiness is what you create for yourself. It's not something on the outside of you can give to you. It's an internal thing. It's very personal. It's so personal. And I often think, when I was a little kid, the reason why I chose to be by myself is because I'm a very empathetic person. Like, I feel people. I can sense when things aren't right. And when you're around people, you can feel that. Anyway, let me get into the 3 steps to help you have a happier life. The first step is to focus on being happy. So many people just don't even focus on it. They don't even think about being happy. They have this view about life that, it's just, this is the way it is. Life is hard. Life is stressful. Life is, something that you don't enjoy. You have to focus on happiness. Happiness is a state of mind that you create. You are in control of your happiness. Speak happiness in the air around you. So many people that are unhappy, when you listen to them, they never talk happy things, but they think they want to be happy, but they don't do it. You have to fill your body with the sounds of happiness. Are you smiling? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you laughing? Are you taking it easy? And allow your mind to create those thoughts that come from the happiness that you feel on the inside. Be unrealistic. There's so many people out there who talk, oh, that's unrealistic. That's unrealistic. You're right. It is unrealistic. It is. Sometimes to be happy, you have to be so positive that you're looking into the future and bringing the future into the present moment as if it's happening right now. In other words, the feelings that you get from receiving the things that you want out of life, instead of delaying that feeling, you put that feeling on you right now, right in this second. That's how you become happy. Here's number 2, create a happiness circle. So many of us don't think about the people that we surround ourselves with. We have a circle, 5 people that we interact with the most. If those people are always talking about what's wrong, always being negative, always downers about everything around them, you have to be very careful about that. In fact, I believe you have to be vigilant about the people you surround yourself with, because they have an impact on your life force. They have an impact on how you feel about yourself and how you feel about the world around you. We rub off on each other. And that's just the truth. Energy transference is a real thing. It's scientifically proven that we exchange energy when we're around people. So you have to be very careful with the people you surround yourself with on a daily basis. Okay? It's important for me to say that because some of us you got 7 days in a week. You do one positive act in a week, or surround yourself with one positive person in a week, and then you go 6 days on this negative stuff, and you wonder why you feel negative, even though you think that you're surrounding yourself with something positive. The truth is that the numbers are not in your favor. It's 7 days in a week. You need at least 4 of those days to get to your happy space. Okay? Here's the final step, the third step to being happy. And that is stop doing the things that make you unhappy. There are so many people out here who want to be happy, but they do unhappy things all the time. They surround themselves with the wrong people. They create work for themselves. They work at places where they're not happy. They bring grim and dark and unhappy thoughts into their head, and they fill their bodies with unhappiness. They're so angry, When you say negative things, when you're unhappy, you're filling yourself with that unhappiness. And it's very difficult to be happy if you're filled with unhappiness. So you have to stop it. Just stop. I would love to tell you that there's some magical key that I can reach across this message and do it for you. But the truth is that we are all the masters of our own domains. Nobody has the power to lord over someone else. That's an individual decision. You have to make that choice for yourself to just say, you know what, I'm going to be happy and I'm not going to allow unhappiness in my life. Anyway, if you don't like the situation that you're in or the people that are in the situation, then change it. Just stop those people. Be vigilant about that. Anyway, thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to my show. Until next time, be happy.